The demand for inclusion by PWDs in Rivers State is contained in a communique signed by cluster heads of various disability groups after a brainstorming session organized by the Stakeholder Democracy Network in collaboration with the Rivers State Ministry of Social Welfare and Rehabilitation. Secretary of the drafting committee, Ifeinwa Dora, urges INEC to fully enforce existing laws protecting the rights of persons with disabilities.
The Independent National Electoral Commission should commence consistent sensitization programs for all security agencies on the management and protection of persons with disabilities before, during, and after the voting process. The Rivers State House of Assembly should domesticate the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Provision Act 2018 and the Electoral Act.
The communique also appeals to the Inter-Party Advisory Council to ensure that political parties actively include persons with disabilities in their decision-making processes and those with political ambitions in line with constitutional provisions.
Inter-Party Advisory Councils, IPACs, should direct all political parties to incorporate persons with disabilities in their decision-making processes, nominate them as candidates, and sponsor their elections in line with relevant provisions of the Constitution, the Electoral Act, and the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act 2018. The Independent National Electoral Commission should take clear-cut action to enforce provisions in relevant laws that safeguard the right of and ensure a seamless electoral process for persons with disabilities.
On her part, the head of governance at the Stakeholder Democracy Network, Flora Asiri, says the engagement is aimed at strengthening the inclusion of persons with disabilities in Rivers State's electoral processes.
As a civil society organization, we normally, observe elections. So at the different wards and units, we noticed that there were not assistive, aids that the Electoral Act had already covered for persons with disability. So again, after the elections, there was also not the right reporting mechanism for them to highlight any issues that they must have experienced in the course of the 2023 elections. And this led us to, have further discussions with them. And we saw the gap, and that is what we're trying to bridge, so that this won't repeat itself come 2027.
Representatives of various disability groups attended the session held under the Strengthening Inclusion and Participation Project to examine challenges encountered during past elections and propose practical solutions to improve participation ahead of the next electoral cycle. Charles Oporum, Channels Television News.